My computer career actually helped me set up my resume. So with that help, I was able to land a job within the first 4 months of attending school in my computer career.
A few weeks before graduation, though, I landed my first job as a Tier 1 technician with a large insurance company. And 6 months later, I was actually working as a Tier 2 technician with a significant pay raise. And kind of like my first job, they were also very impressed that I had so many certifications.
You have to look at what you want in life and where you're at. For me, my computer career was an easy choice because they offered me a better lifestyle that I really wanted, and it was the only place that would really give me that upper hand in life.
The folks at my computer career are very caring. They really care about our success in the IT industry, not just with certifications, but also with finding a career and really being happy with that choice.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome back. Here we are again, getting into IT. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Friday weekly live show. And here we are again, hitting one of our favorite topics. We are very lucky to be joined by a Cyber Warrior Program grad who is going to share some details about his journey before, during, and after the program, and we'll learn a little bit more about him. Before I introduce him, though, of course, the comments are open. We are live on all of our socials. So if you guys have any questions for us or our guest, please put them in there. Aaron is monitoring that comment section. And again, happy Friday. Let us know where you're watching from the world. That's always something fun to see. So a little bit about our guest. We're going to learn more about his transition from the Marines to the world of IT. Of course, thank you for your service, Josh. His experience in the program and advice for others, his tips on how to find success, and his current role in the IT world. I'm very happy to introduce Joshua Williams. Welcome to the program. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, Patricia. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to read your bio from LinkedIn. Is that okay? Because this is a lot of information. Is that the best bio to read?
Sure, go for it.
Let me put my eyeballs on. All right. As a proud U.S. Marine Corps veteran with 3 combat deployments, you've honored invaluable skills in leadership, adaptability, and problem solving under the most challenging conditions. His military experience has ingrained a deep sense of discipline, responsibility, and a drive for continuous improvement. I love that. These qualities, coupled with a proven ability to thrive in high-pressure environments, have prepared him for the next chapter of his professional journey, excelling in the dynamic and always changing information technology field. So well done. I love that.
Who's that guy? Is that me?
All right. Yeah. Who wrote that? Wow. That's cool.
What's up, Mason?
Oh, Mason, thanks for joining us. We were talking about you a lot before we went live. All good things, I promise. So good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Let's go ahead and get into it. So let's start with your background. You're a U.S. Marine Corps veteran. Of course, again, like I said, thank you for your service. With 3 combat deployments to Iraq and Afghanistan, when did you first start thinking about transitioning into the IT field? Was it something that you were always interested in? Or did something happen while you were deployed where you suddenly became interested? Walk us through your background with IT.
It's a funny story, so I'll keep it short. I kind of always thought that IT was a little bit out of my depth. I never really saw myself as, somebody doing that as a, my MOS is motor T. So, just driving a truck, how hard can that get? So, I graduated probably EO West around 2011. So my tour was between 2006 and 2011. I was doing filmmaking for about 12, 13 years, and then COVID hit, and I needed something a little bit more consistent, a little more sustainable, reliable.
No
'Cause
kidding.
that industry was going crazy. So I moved out to Texas, pivoted into my actual, MOS experience as a trucker. And, I was doing that for a good 3 years, and I was thinking to myself, this is great. This is good to fall back on, right? Having a CDL, but I want more for myself. I want a job with a little bit more mobility, so I'm not having to pull into a motor pool at 6 in the morning every day, and so I found myself looking into a future-proof industry like IT and getting myself ready for the next chapter.
That's so interesting. I have a degree in film and television production. I
There you
love
go.
filmmaking. That's so exciting to hear. I didn't know that. And it's interesting too. We've actually heard that a lot where some people, oh, thank you so much for tuning in, Naomi. We've had a couple people talk about on this program and in some of our student testimonials how they were either driving a truck, they were like Amazon or UPS driver, and like a lot of the times they'll tell us that they actually heard about My Computer Career through the radio because it's just listening to the radio constantly.
Yeah.
What led you to My Computer Career? Was it also the radio for you, or walk us through that decision in choosing My Computer Career?
I'm pretty sure I heard those ads as well.
So good.
Yeah, I was I was out there in Florida, and I was just kind of getting fed up with the monotony, I guess to say, of delivering hazmat cylinders, and I was doing this a little exploring, like remote work, like what does that consist of, how do you do it, and I eventually found myself in the cybersecurity realm of things. And after listening to a couple of YouTube videos, I started exploring on the internet some programs that were like veteran friendly, um, programs that catered to veterans. And I only had a film school degree. It took a lot out of my GI Bill. So I only had a certain amount of time left on that GI Bill. And the Cyber Warrior program perfectly fit with what I had remaining. So it kind of was a no-brainer for me. And you get your certifications fairly quickly. So yeah, I needed that. I needed to transition quick.
That's so awesome. I love that that lined up. Rick, happy Friday, friend. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. And also, Bruce, I see your comment. Yes, thank you for your service, Joshua. We appreciate you hanging out as well, Bruce. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is great. Thank you for all your comments. So you were in our Cyber Warrior program. You were able to use that GI Bill. I love that it fit perfectly. That's such a great
Perfectly.
kismet. Like I love it. Such a coincidence. I love that. So our Cyber Warrior program is no easy feat here at My Computer Career. Tell us about your experience in the program. What was it like? Any ups and downs? And while we're at it, any advice for people that are thinking about joining the Cyber Warrior program?
You're completely right. It's very intense. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for somebody who, thinks they want to part-time it. I found success in this program by fully immersing myself in the program and in the knowledge base, taking advantage of, the Discord group chats that we had with the other students, and making study sessions. Like we really, right, maybe took about an hour break after class, and then we were back to studying. And that's just how my learning style. I have to
Mhm.
learn by complete immersion. I have to learn by doing. So yeah, this is it's going to be very, very intense. It comes by quick. It seems like you're studying for one exam, and then as soon as you pass it, you're getting ready to take the next exam. So just my advice for anybody that's looking into getting into the program, just be advised that you're going. I had to quit my job in order to really immerse myself and study correctly. So it was kind of sink or swim for me. So that was
Right.
my personal experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And people are going to run into some rough patches along the way. And if you don't want to share those, you don't have to. But of course, like we mentioned, the Cyber Warrior program does have its tough moments. How did you navigate some of those tricky spots? It sounds like you really leaned heavily on your classmates, which I think we've heard from every single person who was in the Cyber Warrior program. They've either joined the Discord or they've did study sessions with their classmates. Was that something that you were able to lean on? Were there any other moments that were really tough and you found your way out of them? Walk us through some of those tough moments.
Oh, I definitely have some rough patches and tough moments.
Mhm.
So the first one would be probably, even though I had passed my A+ exam, I had failed the actual like course due to, just my own oversight. I just didn't pay attention to, the rules. So I ended up failing that and had to remediate on the back end. That was a big bummer for myself. It was kind of like as I was just getting started. It was still in the A+ section of the Cyber Warrior program. But I gave myself grace. I gave myself, patience, forgiveness, and just kept just didn't quit, didn't like quit mentally, you know what I mean? Oh, well, this isn't working out. That's really dangerous to have that mindset and perspective. So just, having a can-do attitude, just pushing through. I also got sick. It was around, December time frame, and
Yeah.
I got really sick during my Network Plus exam, and I think I'd failed it, and I was really nervous, just not feeling it. And but I was able to remediate. I was able to take the exam over again and pass. So it was temporary. And then my last issue was well, of course I'm gonna draw a blank now, but yeah, I've had a couple of issues, but nothing
Yeah.
too crazy.
I mean, you passed. We're here now. We got it. And we're going to cover all the certifications you earned later because you have a plethora of certifications. Thank you so much for hanging out, Christopher. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you so much. And yes, agree. Thank you, Aaron, for putting that comment. Drop any questions or comments for Joshua here, and we'll do our best to share. Yes, Cyber Warrior program is where you want to go if you want a true springboard into IT. Absolutely, Mason. Yes, learning from the
Oh,
best.
I remember now. My last issue, and this is a cautionary tale to anybody that is, wanting to enroll in this program, is that you have proctor sessions through Envu, and you need to be like dead staring at the camera in a waiting period for, could be up to 20 minutes. And if you leave for a second or if you look away, like you're gonna get kicked out of the session, and it's gonna be a really big letdown. So in order to prevent that from happening, I just went to the testing facilities. That proctor stuff, I'm not messing with that. Those people will kick you out and ruin your day. So.
Well, kind of a segue there too. I want to talk about the instructors. Something that we hear a lot from our Cyber Warrior program grads is they really appreciate that a majority of the instructors at My Computer Career are actually veterans themselves, and that's always kind of helpful. So what role did your instructors play in helping you gain knowledge and complete the program? And we're going to pretend like Mason Reese isn't watching. So anything positive, I'm sure is true, but
I'm gonna save the best for last. So I'll start with Mr. Beeler, Dr. Beeler. We had he was a previous instructor, and man, the instructors that you guys select as far as the lead instructors are great. He was so versed in his field that he had about 20, 22 brand new people to the industry, and we were kind of asking questions that maybe didn't make the most sense or weren't the most relevant, but he was able to bridge the gap. And that was like really, he was able to kind of speak our lingo in a sense. So that was really helpful for people that are like brand new, and it's a lot of information. So we were like peppering him with questions, and he took it in stride. He didn't falter at all. And then we
good.
got Mason Reese. Mason, man, I can't say enough good things about him. Just being the inspiration and the motivation, like the guiding light, and telling his war stories and everything. It really was it was very user friendly. He was providing a very user friendly experience for veterans. And just seeing him go from being a student to an instructor is very, very motivating. To be able to see that one of us, we can do it. Like he's a living proof example. So yeah, highly recommend that guy.
We love it. We love it. And yes, absolutely love the can-do attitude, Bruce. That makes such a difference in life, and certainly in a challenging program like Cyber Warrior program. Absolutely. And thank you so much, Nicole, for tuning in. Hello, hello. We see your comment. Now, going back to all the certifications you earned, let me know if I missed any. You've earned A+, Network Plus, count them off on your hands, Security Plus, CISA Plus, including the IT Operations Specialist and Secure Infrastructure Specialist stackable certs. Is that all of them, or is there more?
Sounds about right. I think we covered them all. Network Plus, Security Plus, A Plus. Yeah. hmm
Yeah, that's a lot of exams in a short time frame, which is something you mentioned earlier as well. Did you have like a study approach aside from like leaning on your classmates? Was there something else, and any tips that folks listening can prepare for their next certification exams? Because clearly
Yeah.
you're doing something right.
What I did was lock myself into a room and only left to go to the gym. Yeah, this like I said, just really immersing yourself in it. You can do it.
Yeah.
It's not impossible, but you really have to make some adjustments in your life. Like I said, like I knew that I couldn't do this program while maintaining a full-time job. I had to, make some sacrifices, and if this didn't work out, it was gonna, turn into a big issue. But I'm really thankful to, the powers that be, that I'm in this position today, and I do recognize that it was the amount of effort that I put into it as well. You get what you give into this program, and taking full advantage of the study sessions that are happening on the weekends. My computer career really provides a lot of resources, taking advantage of the knowledge that's given, the group sessions, like I said, the study sessions in the Discord. Lean on your classmates, like flashcard city. Like that's all we were doing for a long time, was going back and forth with flashcards, and continuing to get inspiration by looking into the field that you want to get into, and YouTube is a great resource. Yeah, keep yourself inspired. It's not the easiest thing to do, but if you have the right mindset and the right amount of inspiration, feeding yourself and your spirit, you can make anything happen. It's great.
I love that. That's great advice. Great advice. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Maximum effort from Deadpool. I love it. So I actually want to prepare for this next question. I want to go back to your LinkedIn bio here. You said my military experience has ingrained a deep sense of discipline, responsibility, and a drive for continuous improvement. And of course, these qualities, coupled with a proven ability to thrive in high pressure environments, have prepared you for the next chapter of your professional journey, which is getting into IT. So let's talk about that transition from military life to civilian IT work. What was that adjustment like for you? Were there any surprises? And how does some of those qualities transfer over, which actually goes into my next question as well. So we'll just stick with that for now.
Okay, great. So the tactical communication is really important in any kind of job space, whether it's being on a film set or
Yeah.
in a tech world. The ability to communicate effectively in a short amount of time with brevity and the ability to just really maintain composure during certain time periods where it's really stressful for everybody, and just being a leader in your own sense, in your own way. It's really important. So yeah, the military definitely prepared me for that. Going through those deployments, there were some times that S was hitting the fan, and
Mhm.
yeah, that kind of really prepared me for a little bit less intense situations here for me, but they are intense for my colleagues and coworkers, and you can tell the difference, and it really just paid off for me. So.
Absolutely. And we do have a question from Christopher. What about Network Plus? I have to retake that one tomorrow and really struggled the first time I took it. I've actually heard this before. I've heard the Network Plus is pretty tricky. Do you have any advice specifically for that exam if you can remember what all is ingrained in that one?
And there's so much. Well, that situation literally happened to me, Chris. So don't feel too beat up about it. I failed my first Network Plus by a couple of points. My best suggestion is that take what you did. You know, the initial take of that exam that you took. Just kind of take that knowledge and expound upon it. Like I think they give you a list of the questions that you did miss, right? So you can just focus in on your weak points and come back.
That's good advice. I'm glad that they give you that too, so you can learn. Yeah, I've heard that Work Plus is pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're currently working as an AC technical and customer experience advisor. Tell us what a typical day looks like for you. What kind of problems are you solving? How did you see some of the stuff? Are you seeing some of the stuff that you learned here at My Computer Career translate to your current job at Transcom?
Yeah. This program helped prepare me in a sense for this current position. I spend a lot of time resetting passwords. Man, I am a password reset admin expert. I do that a lot. I do a lot of software troubleshooting. Sometimes focusing on some hardware repairs. More so as a liaison for the technicians, but diagnosing the problem is part of my job. Um, my job description, and it could be it could be anything. I get the most random calls. It's basically a glorified help desk position. I could be helping somebody with getting a server error, trying to send an email, or I can be helping a little old lady on how to surf the web. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's really stretched out, but it's taught me a lot, and I look at this as a stepping stone. Always putting my feet forward to the next task. So yeah.
totally. I mean, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody to help them. Yeah. I, yeah, I'm sure you guys would be shocked watching out there how many people pick the worst passwords that to get into some of their most sensitive information.
Yeah.
Password is password. Let's get a little bit more creative, people. We can.
I can't use my name. What?
I can't use my birthday. I can't
What are you
use.
doing?
Oh, No, and that's something that we've covered a couple times here on the live show where we really want to stress to people because I think a lot of people see some of these bigger words, when they enroll in my computer career, like, oh, I'm going to go right into cybersecurity. I'm going to do all these cool things. And while that's sometimes, often the case, people really get nervous when they hear help desk and they don't think that that's a good starting point. But we've stressed so many times that is the best place to start because you're learning some of the basic stuff. You're learning some of the customer service parts of IT. And I think, you speaking on that too, even just helping an older woman surf the web, you're probably helping her and protecting her in the future from potentially making mistakes. So you heard it here first, people.
Yeah, she was in tears after after I
Oh,
helped her. She's
really?
like, "Oh my God, I would have never been able to do this myself." So it's rewarding in its own way.
Yeah. Sir, I reset your password 4 times this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I don't learn. Create unique passwords, friends. That's the other quote of the day. So, something we love to brag about with My Computer Career is our career services. Did they play a role in the transition to employment? Did you find this current role yourself? Tell us about a little bit about career services.
I can't praise career services enough. Maricela Franco, she was very consistent. Is the word that I'm going to use on that one. She would blast us with emails for job listings. She would follow up for us whenever we did apply to these job listings, and we really had to work together for, it wasn't easy. We had to work together for, several weeks in order to gain this position. But the current position that I'm in right now was offered through Maricela. So I can't thank her enough. The career services, um, that really played an important role in my transition. Yeah.
That's awesome.
There
Yeah,
she is.
there she is. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for being here. I love it. So I'm down to my last question, and we talked a little bit about this earlier when it comes to advice, but I really just want to drive this home. What advice for somebody out there, veteran or otherwise, looking at any of My Computer Careers programs, what advice would you give them for considering My Computer Career?
I would I would highly recommend it, as a personal, from my personal experience, going from literal zero to where I'm at right now was, due to, my computer career. It really, I sound like I'm a paid actor saying that, but it's true. It really gave me the tools that I needed, and it continues to be a resource, in the form of having, I can still follow up with the teachers, the old instructors that I had. I can follow up with my old classmates. The community that we have is really important, and it's great and valuable. And I would just suggest to anybody that's looking to explore the program, just understand that it's not something that you can, have patience with yourself, but don't kick back and think that this is going to be, I could just put this on cruise control. This is really intense, but it's very worth it.
I love it. And I love the comments happening right now. Ms. Franco's the GOAT. Yes. And Mason, you're the man. I love it. Joshua, what did I miss?
You had touched on the cybersecurity aspect and people, shying away from the help desk position, because they want to get straight into it. But I heard this from because I go to a lot of tech meetups, and one person that was really involved in cybersecurity, as an analyst, he told me, like, you can't defend the network unless you know how the network works, and that really stuck with me. Me trying to go gung ho straight into a cybersecurity role, and not even, barely passing my network class. It was kind of a reality check, and yeah, but with patience, with resources like Try Hack Me is a really good resource. um, you can do it, but if you think that you're going to get there tomorrow, you might need to reassess.
One day.
Yeah, but take advantage of the offers that are given to you. The help desk position. Don't shy away from that. If that's going to get you one step closer to that ideal career that you're looking for.
That looks great on a resume.
Yep.
Absolutely. And there is the link to your site. Joshua, thank you so much for hanging out with us and spending some time on your Friday with us. And I'm glad people were here watching and cheering you on. Thank you guys so much for all of your comments. I appreciate it. I think that's all. I think this is great. Thank you so
You
much
got
for
it.
being with me.
Yeah, thank you. It was a great time. I'm happy you're happy. And if anybody in the comments does want to reach out and has any questions, feel free to get my LinkedIn. Okay.
Yes, connect with him because he does get a referral bonus. So if you're looking at Transcom, you know where to go. And that's the link to your LinkedIn. Great advice. Agreed. Well, thank you so much. And we will see you guys next Friday. Joshua, if you don't mind hanging out just for a second. And we'll end this thing. Thank you guys.